Welcome back to the Vainglory International Premier League here on OGN. We're in the thick of the tiebreakers right now, and that means that we have Hack going up against Wild. If Hack can win this next game, then it's over. Yeah. Hack will go through to the wild card. If Wild wins, then if Wild beats Raid, Wild will go through.
Yeah.
If Wild wins here and then loses the next one, then we go
do it again.
Another tiebreaker. That's our format here. But given the fact that we just saw that Hack win over Wild, Hack looked very decisive up against Raid. Probably going to have to give the edge to them, but that Hack Wild game was very close. Yeah. It was very close.
It was very close, but it was a very, very long game, as you mentioned. I'm not really sure where Wild is at. I'm sure they're just a bit demotivated after that loss. I mean, they are going to have some time after this first game we had in the tiebreakers to, take a deep breath, sit back, gain back their, mental state, make sure they're okay to play this game, but I'm sure they're not too happy after that loss.
See Wild here. They have decided to ban out Koshka in the coming game after seeing Plex's performance on that, and you can hardly blame them. And meanwhile, the ban from this game from Hack will be Glaive. So even though Wild ran into some trouble using that Glaive in the late game against Hack, maybe Hack thinks, we don't want you to have an early advantage to begin with here.
Yeah,
we know we can beat you late, and if we can slow you down early, perhaps that's going to make an easier win for us.
It's kind of funny also that Scarf is not banned out here, because that was, Galaxy essentially carried the team on his shoulders with that the Scarf.
Yeah, and he's going to be even safer with the Glaive banned out. So
yeah, it's kind of interesting. I'm definitely favoring Hack after their win earlier against Wild already, and the fact that I'm pretty sure they're going to pick up Scarf again with it not banned.
Yeah, why not? We've seen how well Galaxy can play that particular hero. And for Hack, it's interesting. Moving Galaxy into that lane position really seemed to unlock a lot of the strengths of this Hack team. That box keeps getting better. It's colorful now.
She had some more time to color it in. That's very nice. And here is Wild.
Now, unlike the last game, with the Glaive band against them, they could run the Jewel Catherine combo, Ultra Gank combo again, if they wanted to. Jewel was banned in the match earlier today that these two teams played.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. That definitely was a composition they were trying to use against Liege, against Raid, but maybe they could also use that. It worked out well for them.
It would work against Scarf, low mobility, so if they think the Scarf is coming through, it could be powerful if they can get a series of ganks off once again.
Galaxy hovering over both Celeste and Scarf. Trying to make a decision here.
All right, well, there it is. The Scarf lock-in. No real surprise here. Senti, perhaps back onto his jungle Jewel. I think that's a potent hero for them to play. Waiting on the rest of this.
There it is.
These two teams. There will be Scarf, Catherine, and Jewel. So coming through again. We're going to get into it. Is this the last game? We'll find out.
The battle for the Halcyon Fold has begun.
Welcome to what could possibly be the very last game of our tiebreakers, or merely a blip in an drop in an endless ocean of Vainglory games.
Yeah, I like the way you put that.
So Senti and Mong reprising their combination that got Wild their only win in the group stages, and that of course is Catherine and Jewel. They have a really good synergy on this combo, and Spitfire nearly hitting again, so Galaxy getting the better end of the Scarf on Scarf action in the mid lane.
Yeah, Night Ray kind of underestimating the amount of damage that can be done with Fan the Flames, the heroic perk of Scarf.
Maybe some action here. Senti gonna get stunned up, but hard to scrap with this Jewel early on. Jewel has the Rocket Leap and the Thunderstrike already skilled up, so don't really want to commit to mass stuns. They're pushing this pretty hard, though. You have to be careful. Jewel is very tanky if she wants to fight you, of course. Her perk means that she takes less damage from the front. And see what they can pull off here. Just going to go back. Hack trying to be as annoying as they possibly can.
I like it.
Get a stun down, and there's a knockback. Ooh, stun misses on the Rocket Leap, and now Senti has no escape. Missed the skill shot, and he's going to pay for that.
Yeah. I mean, this is just very smart from Hack. Their composition, just with that Adagio, is very strong early on once he hits level 2. And they're just trying to push that advantage. Also trying to bring Night Ray out of that lane and give Galaxy a bit of a better time there.
Yeah, CS about even so far in the lane for our double scarves. Scarves.
Scarves.
Double dragon, you know, whatever you want to call it.
Oh, yes. Let's bring it back.
Shout out to your Dota casting days there,
Yeah, that was
Valdez.
a lot of fun. You guys, if you're not aware, me and Doa at WCG casted Dota 2 when we had no idea about Dota 2 at all. And it was a lot of fun.
Hilarity ensued.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. That video has like a huge amount of views, actually.
It does, all right. So Hack getting corralled here. Back onto, wow, another missed Rocket Leap. Senti not really landing those skill shots this game. And Night Ray a little bit slow to come down and pushes up that lane first, but they will get an opportunity to shop here.
Doesn't seem like the, how do I put this? Like they're not linking up their skills quite correctly. Mong has to get the stun down first, and then you follow it up with Senti's stun with the rocket jump.
Yeah, that
they're not quite doing that.
Yeah, it's a really slow skill shot, so you have to be on point with that Jewel, and having the setup crowd control really does make a big difference. Night Ray trying to back off, Coop down onto him, gets lit on fire. Not too much damage, and no actual gank coming through. Back to Poke Wars.
Yeah, you know, Galaxy, he did not pick up a energy battery here, whereas Night Ray has, so the continuous poke from him is going to last the longer that laning phase goes on.
Yeah, Galaxy had the initial edge because he actually went for the boots first, as opposed to the battery first, so he was able to just catch up and continue to put damage down on Night Ray, as well as dodging the Spitfires better, but the sustain and the energy department definitely better. Night Ray has to use his boots to swoop out of that gank, but no harm done.
I thought that Mong and Senti were going to go for the gank there on Galaxy, but kind of just walked on by.
Oh, it's been a very defensive lane for Galaxy. He hasn't even had a chance to go by yet. They are going to take the gold miner.
Very early on.
Yeah, surprising. They would go for that.
Yeah, just like 25 seconds.
Galaxy knows what's in store for him. They know what Wild wants to do here, so playing defensively, sure, you don't get as much of a chance to go and purchase because you have to push out your lane to be safe when you go down to that neutral shop, but it also means he hasn't died. So, trade-off being made there.
At the same time, I mean, he's getting slightly ahead of Night Ray here, so not too bad of a position so far. Both these guys looking at fast broken myths.
Well, they got a flank here, and there's a nice jump over the wall. Phone gets stunned immediately. The other stun goes down onto Plex. Can they take them both out, or none is actually going to be the answer, and the split focus really hurting them there. They got greedy, and they paid for it, and there we go. Breath of Fire, or Dragon's Breath rather, coming through. And Mong gets low, so they trade 1 for 1, but man, oh the burn down from the perk.
And the gold mine too, getting some action. Securing the kill.
Wow, so coming into that fight, Wild, they used the stuns on different targets. It looked like such a good engage, and had they been able to keep one target locked down for longer, they probably could have just traded 1 for none and just gotten out and taken the gold mine, but
yeah. It's an unfortunate spot because Senti got his stun onto Catherine. That's like the last person you want to attack, but he was very low, so they probably could have gotten that kill. But Phone was saying, oh, he's probably going to go down anyway. Let me split up these CC. It didn't quite work out for them.
yeah. Tough break for Wild, but still very even. Those kills not going to be worth too much, and here comes the Stunlock squad. Just clearing out some scout traps for the moment.
They haven't, okay, there we go.
And now, try their luck on the gold mine. And here comes the engage. They're going to stun phone, and the payout is collected by Senti's Jewel. Now they just have to kite their way out of danger. Senti is able to leap if he needs to over a wall, but doesn't actually have to use that ability. They may be getting a bit over-eager here as Hack does a deep invade, and Senti doesn't have a good choice of where to jump to right now. Does get a Thunder Strike down, but falls, and here's the Dragon's Breath chasing him all the way back underneath their turret right now. Uh-oh. Night Ray actually is going to find a kill there after using the goop and the flame. A little bit too deep on the dive, so 1 for 1 overall.
Yeah. The Scarf play, though, from Galaxy is phenomenal outside of that mistake. Just the positioning at all times, you know, securing that kill even after getting stunned by Senti, and then he just slightly dodges to the south, and then he goes in for the kill later on. Unfortunately, it doesn't quite pan out later, but just really nice mechanics coming out of him. You could tell he's quite good at that Scarf. He's played it quite a lot of times.
What I like is that we're seeing a very different side of Galaxy. In this particular game, he's keeping good track of the stun cooldowns, so he knows when he can use the Dragon's Breath. Remember, in this last game that we saw of Galaxy against Wild, he was very reluctant to use that ability, but this time he's really changing up his playstyle to suit the enemy team composition.
Yeah, and to suit his own, this is actually this is the way that who is it? Beyond,
yeah.
Right? Beyond, they had that Scarf too. This was actually their composition that they used exactly. So they kind of just stole it, Hack, and they're like, okay, I can play that way as well.
Yeah. So Phone on his own. Oh, gonna just bump him back, and Senti really just hasn't been as on point with the Jewel as we saw him previously, and now the counter engage going to come through. They know the Rocket Leap is down. Now is the time to fight. Get some good poke damage, and they're going to get Plex, and there's the big red button. The follow-up there.
Yeah, huge. That gold mine actually had the minion candy for the beginning of that fight, or he still actually does. So huge damage coming out of him as well. Able to secure a kill.
Making a difference. You can understand why Hack wanted that re-engage, though. You're right, with the minion candy on the gold miner, the extra damage doing work. And Plex's Adagio not going to make it through. So Wild has moved into a slight gold lead after that fight. Turrets are still even, no one really with a lot of map presence just yet. A definite vision edge over to Hack. They need to use that to actually retake this gold miner, though.
Now we'll see what they can do. They do have to clear out some of those traps. There is one spotting the gold mine there.
Yeah, but they really can see from a lot of angles where Wild is coming from. Wild just throwing down another minion candy. They want to make sure they can max out their payout. Just a few seconds. Night Ray got a nice poke. Checking the brushes right there.
Yeah, looking for that gank here on Night Ray. He does have a reflex block at this point, so going to make it much easier. Also has the cooldown on his boots.
This game is just so even in terms of farm, in terms of gold. You can see how close these teams are when it comes to their skill level. Everybody is trying to land those Spitfire skill shots.
We saw him chunking down Phone there. Even that Catherine not so tanky just yet.
Okay. Claiming goop trades.
Huge damage. Night Ray getting the lesser part of that trade.
Uh-oh. That's going to trigger the gold miner, though, in this team fight. Mong gets chunked out early, and Night Ray's still very low. Here comes the Dragon's Breath, and they are going to take out 2 there. A huge ace, actually, in favor of Hack as they find the AoE. Bold to take the fight, even in gold, even really in items, but they still managed to make it work.
Yeah, nothing went right there for Wild in that fight. Stuns getting reflex block, Galaxy getting zoned, getting hit by the very tip of the Verse of Judgment and going down as well. Pretty unfortunate there.
All right, so let's take a look at this start again because Plex going to come in with the double here. And, I mean, Night Ray was already chunked out after that last fight, but Versa Judgment, Channel takes out 2 on the edge.
Night Ray, not Galaxy. You get confused by these scarves.
Yeah, Night Ray, but I mean, those trades that went down in the mid lane were in favor of Galaxy, and then Night Ray just didn't have the HP to really follow through on that engagement.
So Hack getting a bit of a lead here, 2,000 gold. Looking to engage again.
Senti found out and does get the pursuit. Another miss stun from Senti, and now he's all alone in the backside with a Scarf. Dragon's Breath coming through from Night Ray, but it's not going to deal quite enough damage. Meanwhile, Plex and Phone still hacking it out against the Wild members. Galaxy pursued the Jewel, maybe a mistake. He could have actually just cleaned up that fight and let Jewel walk away, but I think he was worried about a possible long-range big red button.
Yeah, either way, both these guys are going to be very low, and Galaxy is on the hunt. I don't think he should be able to pick up many kills, though. Just going to buy some time.
Yeah, that's all he has to do. They still have a gold lead. Being 1 kill down in that skirmish isn't going to make that much of a difference as long as they maintain their control over the gold miner.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at this again. So I mean, they get onto Senti, and that's just another missed stun. And right here, they want to make sure Senti doesn't get a good ult off, but just some confusion. Phone is just kind of walking around in circles right there.
And if Galaxy just went to that fight, easy cleanup, maybe both of them even survive.
Yeah, you do have to be concerned about the possible Jewel going through that tri-brush, and we're going to see some more action immediately. Night Ray actually stunned by Plex, and Plex is just going to murder him in the back line, and here comes the cleanup crew, getting the speed boost from that Dragon's Breath, and there's the poke, lands the Spitfire, and now they can just push up and try and take another turret.
Plex is making Night Ray's life just a living hell right now. He can't even get into these fights because Plex is always on top of him. We saw some fantastic Koshka play out of Plex. They banned it out, and now he just plays Adagio and does pretty much the same thing. It's very impressive.
He's providing that crowd controlling. He's going for that alternating current first, so he has that fast attack speed. He does a lot of damage if there's the fire on the enemy and he has the Agent of Wrath on himself. He's getting a huge amount of extra auto damage in that situation, and is coming fast too with the attack speed from his items.
Yeah. Well, we do have the minion candy picked up here. Going to put that on past the halfway point of this gold mine. I think they should be able to pick this one up, securing an even further lead. 3,000 gold now.
Okay, well, Phone will be poked out just a little bit early. Now he decides time to engage. Bong going to come in, and that is going to be a stun onto Phone. Now, how well can they kite this out? They're all standing in the burning goop, but they do get the first kill onto Catherine. And there's the answering kills immediately as the damage dealer's left alive. And here comes the Dragon's Breath as they try and chase down Night Ray. He's trying to just dodge the skill shots, and Night Ray has a chance to be a hero right here, and he will be. And now he can just, with that ace buff, take the gold miner right back. And that is just disastrous for Hack.
That was a huge fight. Unbelievable play from Night Ray. You see the way he was juking that Dragon's Breath? That was unbelievable.
Yeah, just couldn't find the damage. And honestly, I don't think Dragon's Breath was the right thing to use right there. I think that's just a big mistake. You don't need that AoE for just one hero. Instead, could have just been hitting him with the Spitfire.
Especially when you have Eve of Harvest and your opponent does not. You have much better sustain with that Crystal Life Steal, and you could probably just, kite, try to dodge the Spitfires of Galaxy, or Night Ray, rather, and just try to survive that way.
Wild fans in the audience today. So here we go.
We did see a sign earlier, hoping for 3 wins in a row from Hack, though.
Could happen. They still have a lead, even though it has been dwindling, as Wild makes their comeback. And they're still just about brush checking right now with the Spitfire.
I'm so happy we see double Scarf in these games now. Like, this is the way the meta has shifted, at least in this tournament. It's one of my favorite heroes.
You just like poking people, never dying, being a jerk in the late game.
He does so much damage, especially later on. It's ridiculous.
Just Flare War is here. Checking brushes, trying to poke. Wow, this is boring. Oh, Night Ray just gets caught out right in the front, and he goes down instantaneously. It's up to Wild to turn this one around right now, but the damage is gone. Mong is going to fall. Senti on the side uses that reflex block, but there's not going to be living through this one, and that is an ace. Oh man, that is tragic. Just getting caught out of position right there. The stun was enough for Galaxy to finish off the enemy Scarf.
Are they going to go for it? They may just be able to with the Scarf.
Well, Scarf is coming up in 2 seconds,
They're
though.
thinking about it.
Night Ray, you were a hero once. Can you be a hero again? He's going to come on through, but that Bane Crystal is falling so fast. There is no way, and Hack will make it through to the wild card round. 3 wins in a row today.
Very, very impressive play from the entire team in all of these different games. Very, very well done.
And that Scarf doing work once again. So congratulations for Hack. They keep their semifinal dreams alive for a little bit longer, but man, it is going to be tough to make it through Invincible Armada and beyond.
Wild looking crushed at this moment, specifically Night Ray, whereas the other two don't seem too piffed.
Night Ray is sad. Mong doesn't seem to care.
Yeah, Mong's like, oh, we won, right? Like,
oh, poor Night Ray. It's okay, buddy. There's next season. Just gonna. Oh.
Yeah, he's really not happy right now.
Good sports from Senti and Mong, though.
Actually, Jason said earlier on that Night Ray was the main person that was really unhappy with their loss to Hack earlier on today. And you can see the follow-through after the second loss as well.
Well, I think he's also bummed probably because he did get caught out in the end of that game there and couldn't quite make it work. But Wild had that success with the Jewel Catherine combination, couldn't quite execute those same combos today. And that'll see them go out in the group stage. And we actually had the shortest possible tiebreaker, surprisingly.
Wow.
That almost never happens. So Plex will be the man of the match, though, and really
Easy.
well-deserved.
Easy man of the match for Plex, in my opinion.
Yeah, got the second boot upgrade very fast so he could stick to Night Ray. I mean, he made the difference.
Yeah. He just identified what his role was in that game, and he executed it so well.
Well, the problem with running that Catherine and the Jewel is you don't have as much peel. And so the Adagio was able to do work, and we're going to have a brief interview with Plex, with Jae-Song here to translate.
Thank you, Monty and Valdez. We're here with Flex, who's making my life a little bit easier today, going home early. You guys just made it to the wild cards. How do you guys feel? We had a really hard time throughout this entire group stage. Against Raid and Wild, we thought we were about to lose, but we pulled out in the end. We came together and synergized. We practiced a lot, and then I think it worked out in the end. You guys lost one of the first 2 games. How did you guys manage to get back up? We practiced hard a lot. Yeah, and then we worked on a lot of our teamwork, so. Anything you want to say going into the wildcards match? We're going to practice even more, even harder, and going to try to work on our teamwork even more and try to do our best at the wildcards. And that's it, and back to you guys, casters.
Thank you. So a few short words from Plex, and I did not think with the way this season started for Hack, just getting wrecked by Liege and the rest of Raid, that they would come through, but you know what, they did, and now they still have that chance at the semifinals with that 2-0 in the tiebreaker.
Yeah, I mean, they've made it this far. It's been an impressive run, going 0-2 to start things off and then getting 3 wins in a row to secure this spot. They still have the wildcard matches to go into, and just to remind you guys who are there, it's Invincible Armada and beyond. So, I mean, Hack's looking good as well. It seems like, he said they're practicing a lot, and I'm sure they are. But will they be able to stand up to some of those titans from the other groups? That is the question.
I think the upshot is that now they've figured out who their laner is going to be. Galaxy has really stepped up into that role, and the change they made seems to be bearing fruit. And of course, we do have 3 3-win teams, BQQ, Gangstars, and Hunters, definitely going to the semifinals. And then we'll see which of Invincible Armada, Beyond, and Hack will take that final, last semifinal seed.
And for my prediction here, I would have to go with Invincible Armada. What do you think, Monty?
I'm gonna say it would be a little bit of an upset, but I really like the way Beyond has been playing, and I think their defensive style is quite good, and that they can overcome perhaps Invincible Armada in some of these late game team fights.
Yeah. I think it's definitely possible. As I was saying before, Hack, they've made a really nice run, but are they going to be able to go up against those 2 teams? I think they are the dark horse in this wild card match for sure. Just comparing them to Invincible Armada and Beyond.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we will be coming back on Thursday to decide that before we actually move into the playoff bracket. Very interesting stuff. Of course, Invincible Armada, they'd love to actually be able to defend their title here from the Worldwide Invitational.
Yeah. It was a bit of an upset, at least for us looking at Invincible Armada going down to PQQ in that match. But, at least they'll have another chance here.
That's right. And so until then, guys, we will see you later this week.